in this video, we are going to be going from a graph to an equation in general form. So let's get straight into an example. So here we have a graph that's opening down, and we want to go from this graph to an equation in general form. Just to remind ourselves what an equation in general form looks like. It looks something like this. So we want it to look something like that. The first step to do that is to write the equation of this function first in vertex form. So we're going to have to write it in vertex form first and then change it into a general form. And so I'm going to put a link in the card of the video when we were changing from a graph to vertex form, so you can watch that video and then come back to this one to do it so it's a little bit more clear. And so let's just do that. This is vertex form. Okay, so now the first step is to find our vertex from this, and our vertex is right here, which is a 6 and a 0. So our vertex is 6, 0, so 0.60. Now we're going to put that in our equation or our formula, which is this right here, our equation, sorry. So it's y equals a x. We're going to take the opposite of x. So we have here a positive 6, so we're going to take negative 6 squared, and we're going to say positive 0. So now we're going to choose a nice point on the parabola and plot that. So this point is pretty nice. It's at 8 and a negative 2. So we're going to put those points in for y and x. So if you've watched the video, this should be pretty clear and straightforward. So here we have this point is at 8 and negative 2. So we have a y is a negative 2. A 8 subtract 6 squared plus 0. So now we are going to add everything together and leave the a out because we need to find that a. We're going to do algebra. So here we're going to have negative 2 equals a. In here is going to be a 2 squared plus 0. I could have dropped that plus 0. It equals 4a. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4. And then a is going to be equal to negative 1/2. Okay, so now that we have that, we're just going to take that equation and make it a little bit nicer. We're going to take out our y. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to be left with a y equals negative 1/2 x subtract 6 squared. I don't need the plus 0. So now we are, actually I'm going to put the plus 0 here because I want to make a point out of this. So now this would be our final answer if we were doing this in vertex form. But no, we are changing this to general form. And so we're going to have to keep going. And so what we're going to do is we're going to foil our we're going to foil our x minus 6 into each other. So we have y equals negative 1/2. And then we're going to have x subtract 6 and x subtract 6, right? Because of the squared on the top. Bigger brackets plus 0. Okay, I'm going to move this to a separate page and then we can keep going. Okay, so here we go. We're going to fold that in. So we're going to have negative 1/2 here still. But we're going to end up with x squared minus 12x plus 36 plus 0. So now the next step would be, what should you do first? You might ask yourself, should you add this 0 first or should you distribute your negative 1/2? The first step is to distribute your negative 1/2, and then when you're done that, you can add your 0. Just like BEDMAS, right? Your multiplication always comes before your addition. So you want to distribute your negative 1/2 first. Now it's 0, so it's not going to matter, right, if you add 0 or not. But sometimes it might not be 0. Sometimes this 0 might be replaced with a number. And so if it's replaced with a 2 and you add your 2 to your positive 36 first, it's going to change your answer. So you want to make sure that you are distributing your negative half, or whatever this number is right here, into your equation first. So we're going to do that. And we're going to end up with negative 1/2 x squared plus 6x subtract 18 plus 0 or plus whatever number you get there. In this case, it's 0. Negative 18, right? Plus 0, collecting like terms, that's still going to be negative 18. So our final answer is going to be negative a half x squared plus 6x subtracts 18. This is our final answer. And this looks very, very, very similar to our y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, right? That's the same form right here. This one right here, the one that we did, where was that? This right here looks very much familiar with y equals a x subtract h squared plus k, right? You can see you have your a, your x, your h squared plus k. So that is your vertex form. So now what we did was we changed that to a general form right here. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. You can go ahead and do more examples. I'm going to have step-by-step instructions in the description box, so check that out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.